Yay. You are my joy, Lord. Thank you. Now, so my pursuit of joy, my pursuit of happiness, no surprise, as with many things, leads me not to myself, but really outside of myself, and leads me out of me to the fulfillment of me, which again seems to be the resounding realization of pretty much all of humanity, since all of monotheistic religion ultimately has ascertained the same truth, and the sort of perhaps the most widespread of reincarnationist thought, Buddhism, has turned to the same conclusions as well, which is you must look outside yourself. Your focus must be on something outside of yourself, because all of you is not to be trusted. All of you, is attachment, and it's all to be learned from, for certain. And what God taught through His words, and has been teaching me through His words and through prayer and through quiet nudgings and an experience of this past couple of weeks, is to be not to be ashamed or feel like that joy in Him is yet another attachment. In fact, what He's been telling me over and over again is the pursuit of His joy and the pursuit of His glory is in fact the entire purpose of the entire narrative of our existence. So it's really the one area that you can be as greedy guts as you would like to be, with no repercussions, no negative repercussions. I mean, it would certainly maybe have repercussions on Earth and from your friends, but He tells over and over again that to suffer in His name is not only a joy, but it's quite a blessing. So I don't fear that in any way. So I'm just trying to sup hungrily on Him and be part of that grand narrative that He's putting together. And then I was reading today kind of about an interesting summation of that grand narrative as described biblically. And I'm going to try to slam through it in 6 minutes. Because I think it's interesting. As a writer and as a creator of things, I'm very interested to see. And so far it hasn't really played out. It's only hinted at the end. It's really like we're still in the post-climax conclusion period. But the origin. Genesis 1:26-27. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." I love that. Every creeping thing that creeps. So God created man in His own image. In the image of God He created him. Male and female He created them. Which I like that, because it doesn't cast out the ladies. I think in some people's interpretation it's like, oh, well, God created man. According to Genesis, created man first and woman second. But in the image of God He created him. Man and female He created them. He created mankind in His image. So both men and women are in the image of God. And I often think it doesn't mean literal image, but who knows? I don't know. I'm not God. I often think it actually means image in terms of our desire to create, even our own desire to pursue glory. And we mistakenly, I think, fill it up with our own desire to pursue glory instead of His glory. I think it's many aspects of our soul and our eternal selves, more so than physical likeness, but who knows? Who knows? We'll see someday. Speaking of our own glory, Genesis 11:1-4. Now the whole earth had one language and the same words. And as people migrated from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there. And they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly." And they had brick for stone and bitumen for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be dispersed over the face of the whole earth." Let us make a name for ourselves. That was the Tower of Babel, and it said that there it ruptured humanity and sent us sort of scurrying everywhere. Now, whether that's a metaphor or a literal thing, come, let us make a name for ourselves, is by no means outside of the realm of human character still to this day. And as an actor, it's hard not to pursue that to some degree. So I'm just still trying to figure out how to not release those desires that I have, as Buddhism might guide me to do, but consecrate those desires and make those desires holy by directing them towards God, or at the very least, I don't know, in metaphor, trying to like pass them through God. God, like, are the consecrate? If these are holy to you, then please bless them. If they're not, let destroy them. Destroy my desires, man. If they're not good, if they're not for your good, and let all this to be for your glory. Which is why I'm on here every day proclaiming His glory, because I don't want anyone to take anything. What's the word? I don't want anyone to misunderstand that I do all I do for the glory of God. Kindness, creation, everything, silliness, funny. I believe it's all in His design. It's all part of His image stamped upon me, and I want to just explore and relish and worship and dance and groove and all those things that are good. You know, all the things that are His image on me and aren't my own like stubborn need to be something else other than His. Now what comes next? Genesis 1 through 2. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you, and I will make of you, one person, a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great so that you will be a blessing." This is the covenant moment where God's like, let's get this going. Let's get the ark going now. I mean, things have sort of ruptured, and you have your change of all, your like rupture. Things are all gay and lovely. Crack. Humanity decides to try to make a name for themselves, and God's like, well, I know how that's going to turn out. So let me take this one person and through that person and their line go on this extended journey of bringing glory to my own name, that human beings might see and know kindness, see and know love, see and know grace, see and know mercy, see and know, just love in all its forms, and truth. And then that this arc will then play out throughout the rest of humankind, drawing like a light all these scurrying human beings in the darkness. And then follow that all the way through the deliverance out of Egypt. Let's go to Psalms 106, 6-8. Both we and our fathers have sinned. We have committed iniquity. We have done wickedness. Our fathers, when they were in Egypt, did not consider your wondrous works. They did not remember the abundance of your steadfast love, but rebelled by the sea at the Red Sea. Yes, He saved them for His name's sake, that He might make known His mighty power. And then He gave them the law. Next beat of the story, He gives them the law. He gives them the 10 Commandments. He gives them the truth and guidance that would help shape their nation and shape them as a people whose sole purpose was to give glory to God. And it's already been 10 minutes, so actually I get to conclude this tomorrow. So that's only the first half of this, the grand narrative as described biblically, which I find fascinating. So we're only halfway there. So I'll see you tomorrow. This is a cliffhanger. Dun, dun.